besties, let's break down this pork and figure out what we're going to do with it. Come on. We need to drain this, put it in the sink, obviously, and rinse it off, and then we are going to decide how we are going to dispatch this. I know for a fact that tonight I'm going to make a pork roast, so I'm going to cut out a roast, and then also I want to get some pork chops out of this. This was only $20. This is an amazing, amazing, value. So I'm going to do, like I said, some pork roast and also some pork chops. All right, besties, I have already washed and dried this off, and now I'm going to trim it up. So any sort of extra fat, warning, because pork is so lean, you don't want to take out all the fat. You do want to leave on a little bit of that fat cap because that is what's going to keep it moist. But anything that's like super excess, like you see this right here, that is too much. But this slight on top, I'm going to leave some of that so that we can have flavor. Fat is flavor, but I don't want to do too much. Besties, I want to show you this. So there is a chain that runs along the pork loin that you can naturally just separate. Run your knife along it, and then this is going to be the center cut of the pork. This is your pork chops, and you can decide how thin or how thick you want it. So I'm just gonna clean all that up, okay? So this is that meat chain. A really sharp knife, oh God, sorry. This is probably gross. Listen, we're not stressing. Just get a sharp knife. You can't mess this up. Also, don't throw this away. This is great for stocks. So we're not wasting and we are not stressing. It's not rocket science. You can look at tutorials. I know that this is kind of me, doing it really quickly. But as you can see, now this is just all streamlined. This is just the one big thing. And this is saving you a ton of money because they will charge you, honey, in the grocery stores to do this. But if you just take the time to do it for yourself, also for Christmas, I do an entire loin of beef. So it's basically all filet mignon, and you buy it huge, and you have to do the same thing. You butcher it out, but we're not stressing. Once you've done it once, it can be scary, especially when it's like $170. But you got this, we got this. There is something called silver skin on this little thick layer of skin. You do want to take that off because there's no way you want to take that off, okay? And you just same process. Slide your knife under, again, thin knife, and honestly pull, and sometimes it'll just do it itself, but if not, just go back and forth until that silver skin slowly releases, okay? But you do want to get that off because it's tough. All clean. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a roast out of this end and cut a roast out of this end, and then I'm going to cut pork chops, thick cut, because that's what hubby loves, out of the center. So and we're a family of 4, so we don't need them to be that crazy large. So I think I'm just going to do this out of this end, about that big, and then a little bit of a smaller one on this end. Now, mind you, you can also decide to cut these up for if you wanted to do like gochujang pork, or if you wanted to do an Asian night, or you could actually just throw this in with some barbecue sauce and honey, and you could be pulled pork. But this, I'm going to start cutting into thick cut pork chops, about this thick. You see that? So I'm just going to do the rest of it. But we came up with 2 roasts, so these are perfect for our family. And then we have 8 thick cut pork chops. What I'm going to do is I'm going to individually wrap these in some parchment paper and then put them in a Ziploc. That way, whoever is home at that time, you can pull that many that you need out. And then also, if you wanted to just pull one out and cut that up for a meal, like again, say you wanted to do ramen or something like that, then you could just pull out 1 pork chop, dice it up. Just kidding. Guess who's out of parchment paper? Me. But who's stressing? Not me, because I'm just going to do aluminum foil. Not stressing. And there's no special way to wrap these. I just do them one way here, one way back, then here. That way no air can get to them. And again, they are going to also be in a Ziploc, so that will double protect them. But yeah, a little pork package. And for all those wondering, I do change my gloves all the time. I just don't show you guys because that's not riveting content. But in case you're wondering, no, I don't touch things with dirty gloves. I just changed them off camera. So everything is labeled, dated, and in here, so we have our pork chops, we have our roast. This is gonna go in the freezer, and then this one is going tonight for honey garlic roasted pork. So thank you guys so much for FaceTiming me during this. Make sure you follow so that we can FaceTime every 5 minutes. I will go along with you guys, or I will bring you guys along for this roast tonight. And yeah, I gotta get started because it's getting late. All right, love you guys, bye.